Hello, winners, and welcome to Two for the Win with your hosts, Nick and Will. We provide international insights and levity to give you perspectives on things such as sports, mindset, leadership, and travel in the travel business. Each episode is about 20 to 30 minutes in length. We have Monday Mindset, which is leadership and mindset, Wanderlust Wednesday, which is travel in the travel business, and Fanatic Friday, which is today. So please make sure you subscribe, share, and follow us. And today's episode is sponsored by Dream Vacations by Nick Menard and Associates. Happy Friday, Nick.
Happy Friday, Will. Hello, winners.
Woo! You know what segment I'm looking forward to today?
I know which one. Yeah, we have more than the winners listening. We have the winner here on set as well.
It's been an interesting run so far. But before we get to that, we have plenty of things to talk about. There's all sorts of stuff going on. You got the World Series. We have hockey started, college football, pro football, UFC. But today, winners, we're going to focus on three things. We're going to focus on college football, the kickoff of the NBA season, and of course the NFL. So, where would you like to start? College football?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So, just real quick, last week, we knew it didn't have the same slate of games, still some good games, some interesting things happening, but we have a biggie this week with Ohio State, Penn State. Ohio State barely lost in Oregon. Penn State undefeated took care of my Wisconsin Badgers. When they gave me hope, they were up early and they should have known. But anyway, we talked, for those of us who follow us, you might remember a few weeks ago, Nick talked about Penn State, and he's like, they just seemed to lose the big game. It was when they were playing USC. And they did almost lose that game, but they didn't. And here they are, undefeated. So, thoughts? Penn State, Ohio State.
Well, if you would have told me that beginning of the season, I would have probably laughed and said Ohio State all over again. Now, I have another feeling about Penn State this year.
Yeah?
I really think that they found something, some kind of secret sauce or something. And also, Ohio State are shaky. Like when you see last weekend's, they barely won their game. I know it was it was Nebraska, but it's not like it's Alabama or from the past 5 years neither. So I was surprised with the way that they played last weekend. And Penn State, in the other end, oh my goodness, they just roll over everyone. I was never a big believer in the coach because you always went the bet against Michigan and Ohio State. If they lose this again, I mean, you need to make a change somewhere, because it's good to win the game that you're supposed to win, but you need sometimes to win. And
you don't think it's the curse of Sandusky?
Maybe Sandusky's curse is there, still over there.
Yeah.
I really have a feeling that this may be their year for the Big Ten. I'm not talking about winning the championship, even though they are number 2 or 3 right now. It's 2 against 3. So, my feeling is Penn State winning by 6.
Penn State by 6. So the line is Ohio State by 3.5, playing in Penn State. So you're going 9 points the other direction.
I do.
Than Vegas.
I just did.
Wow. Well, winners, there you have it. Now, you could have a pretty lucrative wager there if Sir Nicholas is right. We shall see.
Sir Nicholas. Nobody ever called me Sir Nicholas, but now please do continue telling me like that.
Yeah, I'll get out my Monty Python skit. You'll be that kind of sir from the night from Monty Python. General direction. All right, anyway.
All right, move on.
All right, sorry. Yeah, last week I was kind of torn with some of the matchups were head versus heart, and I kind of feel like this one as well. Like, I'd like to see Penn State do well. I mean, they went through some dark times. You know, I made a joke about the Sandusky thing, but that was disgusting, and that really derailed the program and tarnished Joe Paterno's legacy towards the end. But I just am not a believer. Like, they just tend to lose these big games, and I know every year is different, every team's different, nil makes it different, all this stuff. It's just hard to go against Ohio State, against Penn State. So my head is thinking Ohio State. My heart is saying Penn State. I'm going to go with my head. I'm picking Ohio State. I don't know if they'll cover the 3.5. I think it might be a little closer, maybe a point or two, like a missed PAT or failed 2-point conversion. That's the difference. But I'm not yet a believer of Penn State. But you're right. They certainly are capable of winning. And it would be good for college football to see Penn State actually win a really big game against a highly ranked opponent. So
I cannot fault you. I mean, you go the direction you should be going by going, with the history and with, But I do believe there's something different this year. And if I'm wrong, I promise I will never pick them again against Michigan or Ohio State.
I will give kind of an odd thing to look for. I will change my pick if the day of the game,
here you go,
the weather is not good.
Because
Penn State is built for muddy. They're more of the ground, old school, whereas that will neutralize Ohio State's speed. So if it's a sloppy track, I think Penn State wins. Yeah. If it's like a normal field, I say Ohio State.
What about the color of their socks? That's going to also change your pick?
No, but
come on, readers, listen to this. Listen to this. Excuses.
I'm just saying.
The ladder of accountability.
I'm very accountable. I'm saying Ohio State should win, but if the track is muddy, give it to the big, thicker cloud hopper guys that are just kind of sludging through it and neutralize the speed.
Those people from Wisconsin.
There is a method to our madness, brother. Don't be a hater. Cheddar is better. All right. Oh, speaking. We'll come back to that. Actually, so let's talk now about the NBA season. You and I are huge basketball fans. Mm-hmm. You obviously played. You shared that in an earlier episode, and you have a different perspective than most just fans of the sports because you actually played at a professional level in Europe. I've been a huge fan. I played all through school, but I never played professionally. As our listeners know, here's my little Giannis Bubba. I love the Bucks. I don't think it's going to happen this year. Like, Dame looks back. Dame looks like Dame.
Yeah. First 2 games.
Giannis is playing Giannis. They just look old and slow. Their defense, when they won the championship, their defense was locked down. Their defense, I'm looking at the points they've given up. They're giving up almost 120 points a game. I mean, it's tough to beat teams if you always have to score 120 or more every game. So I'm not ecstatic about the Bucks' start of the season. When I saw that they beat Philly, because I was on the cruise ship, so I didn't get to watch the game, I was like, oh, and then I saw that Embiid didn't play and Paul George didn't play. And then they lose the next 2 games. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, on the first game, you had like the janitor from the Sixers who played.
They pulled back, what was his name? Sam Hinkie, the GM who built it, and then didn't get to enjoy it.
No, you're right. I have nothing against the Bucks. I enjoy watching them usually. It changed a lot with me, as you know, when Doc Rivers took over, because I think he's the most overrated coach in the history of sports, not even basketball. And this guy, he has pictures. He has a lot of people's pictures, because the way that he gets top teams after top teams, and he never does do anything with any of them. Don't get me started with Boston Celtics winning. Yeah, of course. I mean,
yeah, they were.
That clock
Garnett,
is right twice a day. I just think that's their problem. The coach is the problem. Yes, they're dealing with Middleton again, who is hurt, but I don't fault the coach. people keep giving them money. Those
Yeah.
people
Oh, yeah.
who are always hurt. So what do you expect? You expect actually something that never happened before? Well, you should not be mad at them. You should be mad at the organization who keep giving them that money. And I like Middleton. I genuinely like him when he plays, but
His body's failed him.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
He's a
So what I would like to do, if you don't mind, is for winners, we're gonna do early picks.
Okay.
Early picks. Who do we think will go to the NBA Finals? Doesn't mean who we want to go to NBA Finals, but who do we think are the two teams who are gonna meet in June? Then we're gonna have who do we think are the two teams who are gonna be better than we thought beginning of the season, and then the opposite. The two teams will be the disappointment of the year. One for each conference, if you don't mind. So you have the honor. You can start.
Oh, you want me to start? Wow. All right. The easy chalk pick would be to say Celtics, right? I'm not going Celtics, even though they certainly should go back to the finals. I'm going to make it not based on team composition or strength. I'm going to think that there's going to be some injury the Celtics get, and they just won the title, so maybe they're not quite as hungry. Mm-hmm. I don't think they go back to back. I'm torn in the East because it is always fun when the Knicks are good in basketball.
True.
I like their squad. They made some good moves in the offseason, but Cleveland is legit too. But I'll take the Knicks just for nostalgia purposes.
What about the West?
I think the West, I like Dallas again, man. I really do. And I think the fact that they got so close last year, they made it to the finals and then just got steamrolled by the Celtics. Luka's a winner. And I think Kyrie wants to win another title without LeBron. And I think Dallas can make it happen. And so I'm going to go with Dallas and the Knicks.
Awesome. So for me, I hope I'm wrong, but I do believe Boston that's a juggernaut. Like the way they play the first few games, it's insane. And Porzingis is not even playing. This is sick. The way they play, the cohesion, defensively, offensively, coaching staff, they have literally everything to be great for a long time. And I despise the Celtics for forever. I never liked them. I respect them, but I don't like them. Mm-hmm. But I will go Boston Celtics, going back to the finals and winning. And on the West, my heart tells me the Mavs. I'm a huge Dallas Mavericks fan forever. Back in the day of the Triple J's, they sucked, but I love them. And of course Dirk. But Luka is my guy right now, of course. But I will go with Oklahoma City Thunder.
Really? You think they break through?
I think Boston will beat the Oklahoma City 4-0. They sweep them in the finals. But that's my pick. If I can choose with my heart, I would love to have a Knicks Mavs finals that guarantee winners. I would be at least 1 to 2 games of that series. But yeah, so those are the two picks. And I will start with the two teams I think will be extremely good this year, better than expected.
Okay.
On the East, I truly think that Orlando Magic, I don't know if it's a surprise anymore, but it still is. I think that Orlando Magic will be at least in the conference semifinal, and I believe that they may even make an upset pick to get to the to the Eastern Conference final. They have such a great mix of players, young players. I like the coach a lot. And they just had KCP. KCP who is like the perfect piece for a young team. Mm-hmm. KCP, everybody goes to the team improve. Why? Because he's such a leader and a great defender. He doesn't make mistake on offensive hand. He knows his limitations. He will just give the pass to the right person, take his 3-point shoot when it's needed. He's a little bit more aggressive when the team needs him to be aggressive, but he's the voice of the team. I believe that he's the perfect new piece for Orlando Magic. And then between, of course, the two young superstars they have, 1 year and Banchero, I really think that team will be a surprise pick, way higher than what people may think. So that's for the East. And for the West, I think that the Pelicans. Pelicans is a team who always struggle.
They're better?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah. The Pelicans, I think, will be a good surprise. Why? Because, again, it's always health in basketball. But here I really believe that they have the cohesion that's needed. And if after 25 games they are not where they're supposed to be, they will trade away Ingram. It's pretty much guaranteed because they need to pay him at the end of the year. And I don't think they will unless the team is performing at a high level. And I really like the coach again, Coach Green. I really like him. And yeah, they have a complement of young and experienced players. Great three-point shooting. I love Dawkins on defense and three-point shooter, sharpshooter. They have a lot of great shooter on the side. And if Zion can stay healthy, which is a big if, but if he can stay healthy, I mean, he looks like 10 to 15 pounds lighter.
He needed to be.
So I think that's a team that I would pick for upsetting most people. It doesn't mean going to the finals, of course, but I think they will be way better than expected.
Yeah, I see it. And you've always been pretty high on the Pelicans since Zion went there. For me, I am going to go. This isn't a fun pick. This is not a sexy pick, but it's a pick. Every time this team gets counted out, they come back and they do something. I'm going with the Heat. I think the Heat make it to not to the Eastern Conference Finals, but the second round. They'll knock out somebody in the first round and then lose to either Boston or New York. But I think Jimmy Butler's last year, for all intents and purposes, probably there. Whenever the Heat, people just dismiss them. They go on these crazy runs. Like, they could probably finish 4 games over 500, but they're going to knock out a higher seed in the first round of the playoffs, and I think they'll give whoever they play in the second round all they can handle. So I'll go with the Heat. And Bam, I like Bam Adebayo. And if they can ever get, what's his name? The three-point shooter.
Hero?
No, the other one. Robinson back on track. Like, remember 3 years ago? That guy was like NBA Jam. Like, the basketball was on fire. Every time he shot it went in. I don't know what the heck happened, but if he gets back on, that could be an X factor. And now, just bear with me on this one. I'm not picking it because of the team you see today. I think this team makes a trade before the trade deadline because they start to have a better year than maybe they anticipated. Somebody becomes available. Huh?
Golden State.
No. San Antonio.
Ooh,
I think
that.
Yeah, if they can trade and get a veteran piece to complement Wembanyama, I think he's a special player. I know you were obviously massively high on him and followed him even in Europe, but I really think San Antonio makes a move. Popovich isn't getting any younger. They have it. They have talent. They have some trade pieces, so I'm going San Antonio.
Interesting. Well, it's good. I like that. Miami, I think that it's the same situation. They eat if they're not doing well after 25, 30 games. I can see Pat Riley trading Butler off. I think he's sick and tired of his behavior as well. So,
what if Butler went to San Antonio just to play gritty?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they have CP3 there now, who is doing his job passing the ball the first few games. But I think that's 1 year too early. I think I will be very high on San Antonio next year. Yeah. Why? Year 3 of a specimen of a player like Wemby, if they don't do something good and go to the playoff and maybe knock one team, they may start thinking about losing him after year 5. Year 3 is very important when you have a special talent in your team. So yes, year 3 of Wemby, that's where I really think things will we need to change for San Antonio. But hey, you may be right, and I will be happy with it because I'm really high on Wembanyama, and so I want him to perform. So definitely good. Now,
about underperformers?
Underperformers for the East, I go with your Bucks, and just because of what you just explained and what I just said also about Doc Rivers, I believe that he's the wrong coach for any team. So yeah, I was not high before the season even started, and now even less. So I would say the Bucks will underperform, and then on the West side. It's hard to say because I don't know if they were really like supposed to do anything, but I will do Memphis.
Really?
Memphis underperforming. I think that everybody feel like is back and everything will go well now. I don't see that being a team who can compete top 4 in the West. And if they are, I believe that they will be knocked out on the first round by whoever played them. So I'm absolutely not high on Memphis Grizzlies. So those two are the one that I pick.
All right, and I will take the Indiana Pacers hangover from losing in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I just don't think they're going to be anywhere near as good. And last year, they weren't like that many games over 500. They just got hot at the right time, and they had a good matchup against the Bucks who got hurt. So I'm going Indiana underperforming, and I will take the LA Clippers underperforming. I don't.
They're not predicted to be very good this year without Paul George.
Yeah. I mean, I think they could be like bad, really bad. So like. Portland bad, Utah bad, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But now, my most favorite segment to talk about.
Wonder why?
Well, it's the NFL.
Wonder why?
There's another segment that is my favorite.
I know.
So, just real quick, what in the world? You know what shocked me most about that Hail Mary? You see how far he threw that freaking ball? Like most Hail Marys are like from the 40, 45 of the, it's like a 50, 55 yard throw. He went backwards, was at the 30, got up to like the 38 and heaved that thing in the end zone. I mean, I knew he had an arm. I didn't know he had that kind of arm.
Yeah, the throw was sick. I saw him going right, going left. I'm like, oh boy. But I liked from the start of the throw, I liked the way he was throwing. He's super high, like Rodgers. Mm-hmm. He spiked that thing so high. And so I was super happy because I like Daniels a lot compared to Williams. I cannot stand him. So yeah, definitely, I agree. That was the highlight of the weekend.
I had a flashback to Rodgers throwing the Hail Mary against Detroit on Thursday. Well, it was the same thing because he was kind of running around. It was almost like you could cue up the Benny Hill music and be like, and then he just whips it and Packers, of course, got it. And then same thing with Jaden Daniels. That just floored me. He is an exciting player. Mm-hmm. Jaden Daniels, excitement. All right, and shout out Malik Willis, Green Bay Packers. 3-0 with the backup quarterback.
If I was a Packers fan, I want him to play instead of Love. I think I like him. I like the way his behavior is. He played right. He doesn't try things that he's not good at. I feel like the team, even the O-line and stuff, they're happy with him. I don't know how to explain. I have a good feeling when he's playing.
Yeah, and the defense, man, turnovers galore. But we shall talk about.
I want to start this because I have to give you your kudos on this one. Winners, this is sick. Like, it's week 5 now, but we had 4 weeks of previewing upset picks. So we both have 2 picks that we believe, based on what Vegas think are favorite on the money line, we have to pick the opposite. So there are picks who are hard to figure it out. So there are teams who are not supposed to win. So we can have 2 picks a week, so 8 picks for the first 4 weeks. Or co-host Mr. Will, he had 7 of the 8 first picks right. So it means he predicted that 17 who are supposed to lose win. And it happens. So again, I said it last week laughing, but now I'm not laughing anymore. If you are better, you need to take this to the ground, to the bank. Sorry, not to the ground. You need to take that to the bank. Those picks are gonna prevail. So do it. And I mean, God bless you. Amazing. And because you won, you can start again for this week upset picks. So go ahead with the first one.
Upset picks. My first upset pick, I'm going to go with... I can't do it. I was going to... Nah, I can't do it. I'm going to take Seattle at home against the Rams. Right now it's pretty close to a pick 'em, but the Rams are favored by 1. So I will take Seattle at home against the Rams.
Okay, good. So you took the first. I have the 2 next one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking right now at the list. You can go down. None of those are interesting. Okay, I will take Patriots. The Pats go win at Titans.
That's a good pick.
I really like the way May is playing. I mean, even though he went out with concussion, I believe, so I hope he's gonna play. But yeah, I really think that the Patriots have the team to beat the Titans over there. So that's my number 1 upset picks.
I almost picked that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Too late.
I know it is.
And then for a second one, this one I struggle a lot. I can go back up. I think I will go completely crazy on this one. I will take the Panthers, Carolina Panthers.
Wait, what?
To beat the Saints.
Whoa!
I am not feeling very strongly about my pick.
Ooh.
But the reason I do that is that I don't feel any other one stronger than this one. And since it's a division game and the New Orleans Saints are struggling with, I think, 5 or 6 defeat in a row. The last time they won is at the Cowboys game where I was there crying on the sideline. so yeah, those 2 are my picks. So yeah.
Yeah, that is a gutsy pick. I will give you that one. I'm torn, right? I kind of like the Browns against the Chargers at home, and I kind of like the Bears on the road against the Cardinals. But I'm also, since you inspired me by taking a gutsy pick like Carolina, I will take a gutsy pick as well.
Don't forget, our winner's money is on your line.
Get ready to cash in. Green Bay beats Detroit at home. Detroit's coming off 52 points. Everyone's thinking they're going to steamroll Green Bay, and this is the type of game they win. They win games you don't think they're going to win. They lose games you don't think they're going to lose. When division games are always different. Sure. And Green Bay, Detroit, that's become a heck of a matchup the last couple of years. We both like Dan Campbell, the coach of Detroit. I really like the guy, but Matt LaFleur doesn't get a lot of credit. He's coaching his butt off, like adjusting mid-game with his quarterback out. They didn't even have the game plan. Malik Willis, you got to have a completely different play calling. The play that they got the big 50-yard gain in towards the end, so they could kick the game. They didn't even have that scripted in the week leading up to it. They basically left it out, and then they're like, "Oh, what the heck? Let's put it in." Now with Malik in here, they made one little tweak. Boom, 50 yards, kicks a field goal, and then we got a kicker. Remember a few weeks ago, like the biggest thing is the kicker. New kicker, 2 weeks in a row, wins game-winning kicks, both in the last minute of the game.
Yeah, well,
I'm happy. I will take it. I will. And if I happen to lose, it's a homer pick. But I wouldn't have picked it if you wouldn't have picked Carolina. I might have went with the Bears or the Browns. Because I like Jameis. Jameis is just a fun guy. He's going to throw for 300, throw 4 touchdowns, throw 3 picks. Jameis Winston. But he's fun. He's fun to watch. He's a character.
Oh, you need the Browns against the Chargers. Okay.
Yeah. Something like that.
Well, the picks are in.
There we are. So we got it. So we got those 2. So winners, thank you again. Please make sure you subscribe, share, and follow us. This is 2 for the Win with your hosts, Nick and Will. Have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday for Monday Mindset.
Bye, winners.